Hey, so I wanted to do a video, but I wasn't even sure where to start. Most of the time I give informational updates on this particular channel, but I feel like this channel needs to start gearing towards more of a spiritual aspect of what's going on. Because I could share the information all day and it won't really matter. People don't listen, people don't care, people won't believe, but I think my channel should start be gearing more towards my thoughts and things on what's going on spiritually in the world right now. And with that being that, like, I subscribe to Tibersaurus Rex. He's sort of a patriot guy, a veteran and whatnot. And his video that he uploaded today really kind of hit the nail on the head about the fact that America was given time to repent. Just like Jonathan Cahn even said, that we were given the opportunity to repent and change our ways, and we didn't. And now that door, that window of opportunity for the United States to repent is closed. And I think it closed a couple of years ago. Well, I think it opened a couple of years ago with the solar eclipse that crossed the country. And here within a year or so, there's going to be another solar eclipse that's going to cross the United States. And the path that it's going to cross is going to be perpendicular, drawing an X over North America. And we allegedly have conservative Christians in power, you know, but they won't outlaw abortion. It's still going on. Babies are still getting killed. We still got homosexuality that's running rampant. You got, you know, women taking their kids to drag queen story hour. Social media companies that will absolutely censor you if you speak out against any of these immoral things whatsoever. I don't know how many, I've been banned off of 3 or 4 accounts just for speaking out against pedophilia alone. I've spoken out against pedophilia, against grooming, and Facebook bans me for hate speech against a protected sexual orientation. And I've appealed it, and someone has manually gone through it, and they confirmed that, yeah, criticizing pedophiles on Facebook is hate speech against sexual orientation. That's where we are here in the United States. The conservatives don't conserve nothing. The liberals hate your liberty. And right before I watched Tiber's video this afternoon, I saw a Fox Channel 12 article about how an arrest warrant has been issued for the pastor of a church because he and the rest of their congregation exercised their First Amendment right to get up, join together in a building and worship their God, and to have faith in their God to deliver them from the plague that's coming over this nation and the whole world. And the state of Florida issued an arrest warrant for him. You have no idea how many forums and threads I've seen of women just begging the state to take away their freedom, saying, please protect us, Daddy. Papa, please protect us from the evil, bad, buggy germ. And we've gotten to the point here in the United States that you have people, the majority of the people, begging to have their freedoms taken away in the name of safety. And if that doesn't sound familiar, then probably nothing I say is going to make sense to you because you've never studied U.S. history or anything that our founding fathers have ever said, or the Bible or human history for that matter. And you're going to think I'm sexist when I say this, but The majority of these people are women. That's not me assuming that they're women. That's me, like, going down through the line of this thread, woman after woman, because women are they're not emotionally geared to handle threatening situations. They're not logically geared to do that. Men are supposed to be logical, level-headed, and stronger, and women are supposed to be the more emotional, empathetic, nurturing kind. God made us in different ways. But I'm not gonna get into that beyond the fact that many of these people are the same women that go out clubbing, having abortions. Maybe by the time they hit 30, they'll go to a church looking for a good man. And there's a whole lot of boomers too, especially the men that are like, well, if you don't like the United States, well, you could just move to Iran. And this whole nation is full of people that have turned themselves away from God and away from Christ and abandoned any covenant that our ancestors made with them. For going on 10 years, I have yelled and screamed and said this was coming. People thought I was absolutely out of my mind back in 2010 when I said that I had a vision of a second American Civil War that had to do with plagues and economic collapse, starvation, as well as partisan violence. 2 years after I had that vision, in 2012, I uploaded it to my ministry channel, New Dawn Productions. Excuse me. And I've had that vision documented since 2012. Even in that vision, I documented that one of the main reasons God was pissed was because of all the abortions. And after reaching $21 trillion in national debt, after that, we get almost $3 trillion in new debt added within the last month. And out of that $3 trillion, the American people themselves are only going to be seeing maybe 350 billion of it. You can go ahead and do the math there. There's a lot of fools that go out there and say, well, it's going to get invested back into businesses who are helping rehiring, when I'm seeing news reports from businesses right now stating that they're going to be deducting people's coronavirus relief checks out of their payroll salaries and just pocketing that money. I'm already seeing companies whose executives are granting themselves huge bonuses out of the money they've already gotten, repeating what happened early on in the Obama administration with the bailouts. And I'm seeing martial law, and people are just eating it up, you know? You got, not only you have that arrest warrant issued for that pastor in Florida, but you got the Florida National Guard that are holding people in their vehicles and coercing them to sign quarantine agreements with the state. They haven't committed a crime. We have a constitutional right to travel. You know, what if my mother's dying and I want to go see her? Or what if somebody's kid has to travel out of state to see the best doctor to get rid of a really bad type of cancer? Who decides what is necessary travel? I'll tell you who. The state does. And the state has determined already that unless you're doing something that is propping up the economy on a crutch right now, they don't think anything you do is essential. They don't think you have any constitutional rights. They certainly don't believe that your rights come from God or from your humanity, because your humanity was thrown out the window in 1973 with the passage of Roe versus Wade. Because all the unborn are genetically human from the moment of conception. But we've granted that authority over to the state. And now 3 or 4 generations simultaneously are handing the rest of their freedoms over to the state without a second, without a peep. And all because some big bad unseen boogeyman is going around and making some people sick. Being hyped up by the media, the same media that's being controlled by said state, while the state's granting itself more power. You know? And this isn't just stuff I'm seeing around the USA being isolated where I am. My local city mayor came right out and put a public service announcement out and directly said, and I am quoting, that although they haven't ordered a shelter in place right now where I live, that if he so determines that us citizens are not obeying the orders of the government, that he would be more than willing to, quote, infringe upon your rights as American citizens, end quote. That's the mentality of these people. They think that what's going on grants them the authority to throw the Constitution right out the window. And the sad part about it is you've got America first, we go all morons out there that have bought into the deception and have bought into the lie that was fed to them by Trump and QAnon and the rest of these satanic New World Order plants, in that they didn't need to do anything for their nation. All they had to do was sit on their ass, and that some secret team of superheroes would fix everything behind the scenes. You don't have to do anything, just sit back and watch. That's all QAnon has ever said over the past 4 years. That is the repeating narrative. And where has it gotten us? 100,000 American citizens were turned into felons overnight with the stroke of the president's pen. Not even a law was passed, just an executive order usurping constitutional authority. You got the DOJ sending Congress memos asking to suspend the Constitution so they can start putting people into camps who don't obey quarantine orders or who get sick. You got local and state governments all over the United States for years that have been going unchallenged, just quashing people's rights. And you have the cult of the thin blue line, who have indoctrinated at least 2 generations to worship police officers as some sort of heroes, when in reality, most of them today, and I'm speaking this with a really sad and heavy heart, most of them today are taxpayer-funded mercenaries who have the mentality of the temple guards that went to arrest Jesus. They'll obey any order for a bag of coins. That's what American law enforcement is. And if you try to point out that truth to these blind, deaf, and dumb Americans, they'll call you unpatriotic, or they'll claim that you're a criminal. And that's the only reason you hate cops, is because you've committed a crime, or you're just somehow unpatriotic, un-American, or some other BS excuse that relies upon emotion and not any kind of thought processes whatsoever. Anyways, that's what I wanted to get off my chest. If you don't mind, please like, subscribe, share my videos on Facebook and Twitter. And peace out.